Hey guys, Shaman.
Julie Dumois-Sands from Harbor Therapy.
We're talking about boundaries. We've talked about boundaries, period. And last week we were talking about physical boundaries, right? Or just
External.
External, sorry. I said
okay.
physical, external boundaries. And now we're talking about psychological boundaries.
Yeah,
Internal.
Well, psychological boundaries are different, and they're the internal boundary that separates our mind from the minds of others.
Okay.
So, have you ever been in a situation where you feel like someone has thought something about you, or they've
Sure.
actually said something like, hey, that wasn't cool, I don't like how you did that?
Sure.
So, a psychological boundary is when we protect our mind from the minds of others.
Right.
So it's what I choose to let in, what I choose to believe, and kind of going through an exercise. Does it have anything to do with me, and is it true?
Right. I was thinking about how the Terry Real work. Is it kind?
Helpful,
Is it helpful?
necessary,
Is it necessary?
and true.
Right. And true. Okay. Yeah, I mean, those are great rails
Mm-hmm.
to put this whole thing in. But even then, I think there's still a bit of a responsibility to not get caught up in the
What other people think.
right.
Yeah.
Even if there are truthful elements to it,
Mm-hmm.
it can be delivered in a very poor way.
Yes.
Anyway.
So psychological boundaries are the boundaries we set where we decide what's true for us and if we want to take something in or if we choose to keep it out.
Right.
All of us get a lot of messages all the time, like feedback from the outside, like about what our value is, what people think of us, even when we're driving, right? And a lot of times we make it up. We make up a story about what people think.
Absolutely.
So our job, it's kind of that sentence, what other people think of me is none of my business.
That's interesting. I like that.
Yeah, it's actually from the recovery community, I think.
Oh, is it really?
Mm-hmm. So it's just deciding that what is true for me is what I think. And it's having those kinds of boundaries that don't let other people kind of take up space in my head and let me determine how I feel about myself.
Okay.
And again, like with the work of Julian Shore, she has a lot of neurobiological kinds of skills that she teaches and that we teach at Harper Therapy. And then those skills become strategies, and then these just become ways of being.
Right. That's the kind of stuff you got to get into your bones.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not just talking about it. You have to practice it. You have to have the skills.
And through practicing it, though, you get better.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's like a muscle. You build it.
Mm-hmm.
You start learning what are appropriate boundaries, and a lot of it is kind of your own judgment too. Like, wow, I can really do without that thing.
Yeah.
And I'm better off because of that. And I feel so much better because I don't let that in.
Yeah.
And, that's just promoting health, right?
Mm-hmm. And a lot of the work that we do, yes, we work with couples, and a lot of that is trauma work, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of us have had experiences in different relationships, whether it's with parents, siblings, and some of the messages we've received haven't been true or helpful.
Right.
And so we have to decide that those are not going to be part of our schema anymore.
Right, because when you can start cutting out the negative things that play on your worth and your value, I mean, all of a sudden you're building yourself up. Mm-hmm. Rather than just being torn down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Anything else before
Nope.
I guess I'll close this. If you can use some help with boundaries in any relationship, you can give us a call at 813-434-3639. Bye, guys.